This Learn to Learn Study Coach video discusses the importance of studying a textbook. Have you ever really thought about how to study a textbook? I want to use a little analogy to see if it makes sense to you. I say studying a textbook is similar to a performance or an athletic event. Let's think about that. Before any performance athletic event, teams or performers do some type of warm-up and get focused for the event. Then the next thing they do is the event. Third phase, and then the third phase here is a review after the event. They're either talking about how the performance went, reviewing the game, be it good or bad, and just talk about refocusing on what they just did. I say studying a textbook also has an initial stage, study stage, and then a post stage. And let's see if this analogy makes sense to you. So here we are, we're getting ready to study this textbook. Let's say we're told that we need to read chapter 2. Instead of first jumping in to chapter 2 and reading it from the beginning, let's go ahead and do that initial stage. This is like pre-event, that sporting event where the athletes are stretching and talking about the game strategy. What they're doing, they're getting focused for that event. In this case, you're getting focused for reading that textbook. The next stage is the event. This is where the game's on, where you're actually playing. In this case, for the textbook, what you're doing is you're actually reading the textbook. And whenever you're reading a textbook, make sure you have a pencil in hand so you can be an active reader and take notes. Now, following that sporting event, this is where they refocus on what they just accomplished, be it good or bad. In the same token, for a textbook, what you need to do is go back, after you've read chapter 2 in this case, go back and just re-look at what you read. Refocus on the topics that you just covered. So how do you skim it? What do you do when you skim a textbook? Well, first off, you're going to do it quick. Don't worry about comprehension. What you're really looking to do is get a broad idea of what you're getting ready to read. Best way to do that is quickly look at all the titles, any pictures, any summaries. If a textbook gives you summaries, go ahead and read those summaries. Look at anything they do in that textbook to get your attention to words. Any bold text, italicized text, highlighted. And another good way to get a good overview on what that textbook's about is read the first sentence of each paragraph. Do not stop. Do not go back to increase your comprehension. You're going fairly quickly and just trying to get an over idea of what you're going to do. This is an interesting paragraph, and what I'd like you to do here is go ahead in a second, pause this video, and actually read this paragraph. So go ahead and pause this video and do one read of this paragraph and see if it makes sense to you. Go ahead and pause. Alright, now welcome back. Hopefully you've read the paragraph. And the purpose of giving this paragraph is really to show you how headings and italicized words and all those other things that they put in textbooks to basically guide you, to help you, is really missing from this paragraph. Did this paragraph make sense to you? I'll tell you, when I first read this paragraph, it didn't make much sense to me because it wasn't in good context. If I would have had a title maybe, then my comprehension when I read this paragraph would have been better. After you've read this paragraph, did you realize that this is what they're talking about, doing the laundry? If I would have seen this simple title, then when I would have read this paragraph, it would have made a lot more sense to me. And that's why when you skim a textbook and looking at titles and looking at boldface and looking at pictures, that helps you get that point of reference so that when you actually read the text, it makes sense. Better yet, if I would have read this exact same paragraph, but it would have been broken out here with boldface titles for the paragraphs, then my comprehension would have been so much greater. In the same token, that's why when you do your pre-reading of a textbook, look at titles, look at anything boldface, italicized pictures, and the like. Alright, so that was the preparatory phase. What you did in phase 1, just skim it to really see what you're getting ready to read. Then for the main event, the sporting event, if we go back to our analogy, what you want to do is do your reading, have a pencil or pen in hand so that you're able to take good notes. Be an active reader. Now that after you've read it, the last thing you want to do is review it. Well, how do you review what you just read? This is the beauty of this. You review it the exact same way that you skimmed it. Go back to the beginning, quickly look at the titles, the pictures, the summaries, any of those boldface, italicized, highlighted words to grab your attention. You can even go back and look at the first sentence of each paragraph. Guaranteed, once you've done this, then you've really solidified what that paragraph was about. If you've done all 3 phases, you did your preview of it by skimming it, then you read it, and then you did a quick review. And your review can be very quick. Then you will have a good comprehension of what you have just read, or in this case, chapter 2 of that textbook. What do some colleges tell us? Well, CNU tells us, glance at charts and graphs. Charts and graphs are a great way to get an understanding what a paragraph is about, or a chapter in a textbook is. When you pre-read, the survey is basically the same as skimming. Read the titles. This is what Virginia Tech tells us. Read the information and or summary. Look at boldface, graphics, charts, maps, diagrams, italics, boldface, print. Chapter objectives are also very good, and end of chapter questions. All really good things to do before you actually sit down and read that textbook. BYU tells us take notes while you read. That's why I stress to have a pencil or pen in your hand so you're an active reader. And then the University of Illinois, the final step here is 5 to 10 minutes at the end of a chapter or reading session, scanning back over the headings and your markings. Scan the back over the headings and your own markings. So once again, we had our skim it stage, then we had our actually read it stage, and then we have our review stage. Great way to increase your comprehension while you're reading a textbook. Takes us right to the tip of this video, and the tip of this video is skim it, read it, review it. For a textbook, you want to skim it, read it, review it. We hope this Study Coach video was beneficial, and please contact Learn to Learn if you have any questions, comments, or need additional information. Thank you.